year I decided to try something different with gardening, using straw bales. As you see here, there's a long row that has a soaker hose on. This end is not quite ready for planting yet, not quite decomposed enough. I've had them here about a week. These have been down here about 3 or 4 weeks, and I put blood meal on them, and you'll see that, in the mornings mainly they will have mushrooms growing out of them, and that's because the straw down inside is decomposing. It's ready for planting. So tomorrow I will be planting a mixture of different varieties of beans here. Over here I have a variety of plants that I grew from seed: tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, watermelon, butternut squash. There's 5 different kinds of tomatoes, and I've got winter squash and summer squash, yellow zucchini and yellow crookneck, straight neck, and I've got delicata squash and butternut squash. And I've got some sweet peppers and hot peppers. The sweet peppers I've grown from seed, and they are giant red Marconis. These are hot peppers, pepperoncini. These are red chilies. There. These are jalapenos. And these are some heirloom tomatoes that I've started from seed that I put in much later than I put these ones in the back in. This is a cucumber, and that's a butternut squash growing right there. Over there I've got some blackberries growing. These bales here showed lots of mushrooms this morning. You can still see them right there. These little pellets are rabbit poopy, which my plants are loving. That's a nice big old tomato plant in that pot that's doing really good. Has some tomatoes coming on there. This is my palette that I decided to try growing herbs in this year. I've got chamomile, basil, parsley, sage. And those are watermelons that were supposed to be chives. They got mixed up in the seed packets apparently. Those little pots have pepper plants that need to be transplanted out. And there's some yellow squash and little tomato plants I've put in. These are a lot of hot pepper plants and some sweet pepper plants that need to be planted. And over here I've got some more sweet peppers and tomatoes and green onions, and I've got some kohlrabi and dill and tarragon, a bunch of other stuff over there that needs to be transplanted into packs. And over here is my baby, my giant zucchini plant. Biggest zucchini plant I've ever seen. It's huge. Look at that. Look at that leaf. It's just gigantic. There's some watermelons growing back here. Being squished by the soaker hose. Look at that comparison. The leaves. Look how tall that thing is. This is my butternut squash back here. And I've got a really nice in there. And there's several other little ones coming on. Some little cherry tomatoes. Some basil down at the bottom. Got a bunch more squash started down in the front. I got some delicatas and some butter stick squash, oregano, little poop, dill. Here, cucumbers. That one's getting picked in just a little while back there. That one will be ready in a couple days. This is a yellow butterstick squash, butterstick zucchini. Here's some more cucumbers. Going crazy. This is a yellow straight neck with lots and lots of squash getting ready to get really big. Here's some cantaloupe that I just put in a couple days ago, and another watermelon. So there you go. I'll update you in a couple weeks when things get bigger and I get everything planted. Happy gardening. Okay, so it's the next morning and it rained all evening and all night, and look at the mushrooms on these bales. These are definitely ready to get planted into. Look at all those mushrooms. So this is where beans are going to get planted today, and after that crop is done, I'll be putting my fall crop in here. These at this end, no mushrooms yet. I've only had these about a week. So it'll be a couple more weeks before they're ready to be planted into, and that's probably the first ones I'll put broccoli and cauliflower and my other fall crops, and maybe some beets in. This is the squash I showed you yesterday that seemed to have grown 2 or 3 inches overnight with all the rain we got. And they got a shot of fish emulsion yesterday. That probably helped. But everything is looking really good this morning. There's more mushrooms in the 2 bales I've got here by the main garden. This one doesn't have very many in it yet. But this one is ready to go. And there's the butternut squash plant that looks like it's grown a bit overnight. There's a little baby butternut squash right there. And there's one. The different types of mushrooms that grow out of these stems are shockingly, they're just like astounding. There's some strange looking ones there. There's one, the top came off. A beet I've got growing there with the tomato and squash plant. Some chives. The cucumbers are covered with blossoms. There's some blossoms there. There's a little baby cucumber. Hot pepper plants keep getting covered with blossoms. I'm trying to get them bigger and stronger and sturdier before they really start producing much. So I keep picking them off and so that they can grow. I think that got burned by some bug spray. What the heck is that? That's not cool. I don't think that's a good bug. That is creepy looking. Where is it? Right there. And over here, see how much these plants grew overnight with rain. Look at that. That zucchini plant is a giant. A giant. Look at it next to my golden retriever walking up there. Sandy. Some more mushrooms growing down in there. That cucumber got even bigger overnight. Look at that thing. It's getting picked today. And I read something on the internet that if you cut it and leave 1/8 of an inch of it right there on the stem, and then split the stem 4 ways, you would get 4 new cucumbers from that stem. So I'm going to try it. I've never heard it, but I'm going to try it. Get out of the squash, bad girl. This is not doggy food. No. No. There's a bunch more mushrooms growing amongst the squash. Yeah. They like the rain too. Okay, that's all for now. I'll update you later. Have a great weekend.